Well, a lot of people have been coming by asking me what we're doing here. And what we do is we take vintage cars and we drive them 9 days, 2,300 miles. It'll go from one destination to the other, and we have no idea how we're going to get there. It's a hard thing to do, but we have so many amazing people here that have been doing this for a long time, and they are super excited to have people like us. We're kind of new at it, and so there's a huge community of people and a big family that'll help you learn how to do this correctly.
Day 3 started in Binghamton, New York, going all the way to Erie, Pennsylvania, our 4th state in 3 days of rallying. Well over $5 million worth of vintage cars will be on the road during the Great Race. The oldest vehicles in the 2022 Great Race are a pair of stunning 1916 Hudsons, and there are more than 50 pre-World War II vehicles signed up for the competition. The remainder of the field is made up of 1974 and earlier vehicles.
Well, I think I got the foot brake adjusted on your side, on the left side. Good. The handbrake is still only working on the right side, but we use both of them in tandem. It should work. Perhaps we'll get both of the wheels to stop next time instead of skidding.
Coming down here, the restart, we realized we're only braking with one of our, we have 4 wheels to start with, only 2 of them have brakes, now we're only down to 1 brake working. So we're tightening up the other one, try and match with the left one that started on fire yesterday, and hopefully get them both braking again so we can stop a little easier.
Racers saw a really big, enthusiastic crowd at Alfred State College in Wellsville, New York for the lunch stop.
Curtis Graff out of Irving, Texas, ladies and gentlemen. His experienced navigator Robert Dingus from Gillen, Alabama, 1932 Ford Roadster. The Wandering Troubadours of Finland, welcome to Alfred State, Western New York. Jerome Bryden out of Ottertail County, Minnesota. Chris Brungard, his esteemed navigator out of Fargo, North Dakota. It's his homecoming week.
It was a long trek that saw plenty of hills and beautiful views. The teams were greeted by another awesome crowd in Erie, Pennsylvania.
And I'll tell you what, that's what really keeps you going at the end of the day is you pull into a new city. We're in Erie right now, and we couldn't tell how many people were here, and we get past the finish line and look down, and there's just, I don't know, tens of thousands of people waiting. And people really love the car. They love how it sounds, how it looks, the greasy chains on it. And I think a lot of people look at this and they say, man, I can't believe these guys are driving this thing, driving it across country, let alone from stop to stop. And so it's just a lot of fun. It's great to see people get excited about the race and about old cars, and it's bringing out a lot of non-car people, I'm sure. And kind of the idea here is to get these people interested in the hobby, and I think that everyone here is doing that.
You sure it was a car 11? Today is another, it was a tough day again with this car, this old car with these old brakes. Going up the hills weren't too bad, but coming down is pretty bad. Most cars have 4-wheel brakes up here. We started with only 2 mechanicals in the back. and only one was really working. So we had some tough times stopping, so we slowed down a lot of different races. So we had to really struggle to keep our times up, and we ended up with a great day. I'm really happy. I mean, we ended up with 38 seconds for a score, and other people would think that'd be horrible and be finding the closest bar to drown their sorrows. Well, I'm drowning my sorrows right now, but I'm excited. 38 days in this car is 38 seconds is a fantastic score.
To receive an ace or a perfect score, you have to follow the day's set of instructions and get to undisclosed checkpoints at your exact scheduled time.
I think our stage.
At the end of Stage 3, it was Team Josh Hull and Trevor Stahl taking home the daily victory with a score of 1.62 seconds, one of the lowest daily scores in the history of the Great Race.
Well, it definitely wasn't the easiest run we've ever had. Beautiful scenery throughout New York. Roads were rough, a little wet coming in.
It's nice to get redemption for our day yesterday. So yesterday we didn't do so well, so today was a good day and got to see beautiful Watkins Glen, and that was fun.
4 aces.
A little bit of skill, a little bit of luck.
This show is brought to you by Hemmings Motor News, dedicated to your drive. Haggerty Drivers Club, let's drive together. Coker Tire, it's all about the journey. McCollister's Auto Transport, delivering excellence every day. We started our day in Erie, Pennsylvania, where temperatures were already higher than it had been all week. From there, we blasted into Ohio to start our day of competition. Within a few minutes of going on the clock, we passed through a beautiful covered bridge. The rest of the morning was spent making our way through farmland, and that would set the tone for the rest of the day's rally. Corn, soybeans, wheat, and other crops would make up the scenery with a challenging mixture of at-speeds turns, stop signs, and speed changes. We stopped in Medina, Ohio for lunch and were greeted by thousands of spectators who braved the heat for an awesome experience as 120 plus great race cars rolled into town. Great race cars rolled into town. Perrysburg, Ohio had a huge turnout for the dinner stop, complete with a car show that included lots of great local cars.
I am very proud of Della. When we first started this, we did a practice run, and she quit. and I thought, gosh, and then I just thought, we need to do this. It's such an accomplishment. And then, you know, you kind of go through like the low points and the hard points, and so to come up to the finish line to see John holding those, we were about to, I think I screamed.
Publisher, longtime publisher of Hemmings Motor News. He lives in Valley.
Woohoo!
Ace, like 5.
Wow!
There you go.
Yay!
44-second day, which isn't the best, but one leg was pretty bad and the other ones were 6:2:8:01. So it was way better. It feels good. I feel like I'm doing it right. I had a lot of math carrying down all my pages, and I just had my fingers crossed there that I was doing everything right. When we pull in, there's so many cars, and I mean, we saw all the Model A's on the side of the road, and my mom almost started crying because she saw the Model A's, and just like the people here to support us is amazing to see every time.
the cars that people cherish and take care of, and that they want to come out and they want to share it, and then I start crying, and then I can't drive. But it is really nice because, you know, they're kind of hidden all over the U.S. And so we come into town and they all come out. And it's like going to, we're on the road for 9 days. We get 2 stops a day, 18 car shows.
That was super exciting. I think from my perspective, watching the emotional cycle of this whole thing, seeing the hard part of it and you really feel it, and then seeing like the ace come in, it just makes it all worth it. All of a sudden you're just uplifted again and you're ready to take it on. And today it was hot. It was 96 degrees here and humid, and I know they were just dying in the car. So talk about a way to sort of pick you up at the end of the day. That was super cool.
The team that tamed Stage 4 challenges was Jody Knowles and Beth Gentry with a score of 6.48 seconds.
Try to put it all together every day. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But we had a good day today. We had 2 legs, you know, and then, like I said, we had 4 aces, and it worked out.
This is our Daytona 500 or our, you know, World Championship. This is it. This is the Super Bowl. So that's why we're here.
Just before lunch, we started to hear some funny noises coming from the back. It puts out a lot of funny noises, but unusual noises for this car. And it was kind of a rear end noise, a transmission, transaxle noise. And a couple of years ago, 2019, we ran a 2013 Cadillac, and it started making funny noises, and we didn't pay attention right away, and it threw a rod through the block, and you know, got shot with all kinds of flying brass from the motor. I will not forget that experience, and so I've learned to, if you hear a funny noise, you know, pull over. Even if you lose some time, pull over, take a look at it. So we did. We couldn't figure out what it was, and rather than drive 60 or 70 miles, whatever it was that we had left to get to lunch, I made the executive decision to park the car, have it flatbedded back, which nobody likes to do. You know, we don't like to do it. We don't know. The problem with diagnosing a 104-year-old car is that the people who know how to diagnose it died 60 years ago. So we just have to kind of guess and take things apart, and that's what we're doing right now, and this is kind of a fun part of it. As I've said before, we're not in this to win because we just aren't competitive with this car, or frankly with me as a driver or Chris as a navigator. We're just not competitive. So what we try to do is we try to keep our car going. This is part of our ritual. We sit out here and people gather around and drink beer and tell stories and put the car together. And a lot of people from the hotel, the other racers and the team, people from the community like to come around and see this weird thing that we're taking apart in the parking lot that they've not seen before. It's fascinating for people. So if it didn't break down, we wouldn't have this little communion here every night. So hopefully we'll have it back tomorrow. We expect to be on the course tomorrow, and expect to do poorly as we always do, but we hope to make it to the finish line and continue on into Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and to the homeland, North Dakota.
As we make it past the halfway point of this year's Hemmings Motor News Great Race presented by Hagerty Drivers Club, we crossed 2 more states off the to-do list. We started our day off in Ohio, and the teams had another tough day that included more tough intersections and stop-and-go instructions. This allowed us to cover a lot of ground on small roads, eventually making our way to South Bend, Indiana for the lunch stop at the Studebaker National Museum.
Please welcome Jody Knowles, Beth Gentry out of the great state of Georgia in their little 1932 Ford Cabriolet.
Well, we're sisters, and we're currently not speaking. We missed a turn about within the last 5 seconds of the race. We missed a turn, so we're way behind right now.
This morning we had a little rough. Let's see, we had a slow truck, a train, and a horse and buggy that stopped us. So it's been a little rough morning, but it's been a great route today.
The afternoon saw more farmland and plenty of challenges. Rush hour traffic, big trucks, and construction made it a tough haul, but it was worth it. Thousands of people came out and packed the streets to welcome these racers in town.
The leaderboard, and they're my favorite, sponsored by Sweet Victory Apparel. These girls are awesome way racers.
At the end of the day, it was another different daily winner, the 5th different winner in 5 days of competition. This time, it was Jeff and Kylie Hermanson with a score of 5.07 seconds.
The day was great. We got to go through South Bend, which is only about 45 minutes from our hometown, so that was fun to see some family and friends, and it was a great day in the Midwest.
The truck's running great, but I got to give all the credit to my navigator for today's scores. And we've had good scores all week, except we've had one bad leg every day. And this is the first day we put together 5 good ones. So it's
someone gave me some advice about the stop signs and timing them and how to do that, and it worked great. So kudos to them.
Today we learned about endurance as we tackled some of the toughest roads in Wisconsin. Early in the morning, we saw a long stretch of secluded road which was marked as rustic. Racers had to make their way through it. We were greeted by a huge turnout.
We're loving it, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, seeing some great places, some great folk on the rally, all different types of cars. So yeah, it's brilliant.
All the welcomes you get from these small little towns is absolutely fantastic. So it's a bit hot. We could do with some snow, some rain.
Much better.
Apart from that, all good.
It's our first rally ever. We've never done this rally, never done any rally with this. This used to be a race car, and we converted it to a street car for this event. So yeah, that's all new to us. Yeah, we started on time, didn't miss any turns, stayed on course, did all the right things. So we're just hoping that our charts and timing was right. That's the big thing.
There's so many times when you come up to an instance where it's like, oh, turn right here, drop the speed, pick up the speed, and doing calculations to make sure you're doing the right speed at the right time, and keeping the car alive has also been a challenge as well, because there's just certain things and certain quirks that you find out about the car as you drive, 2,500 miles that you got to fix as you go.
Georgia drivers Chad Caldwell, navigators Jim Brad.
Good. We made it.
Is the navigator. This is the
We are starting today. We started in 2nd place overall today. First in our class in Grand Championship class. Today we didn't make much of a move. We ended up with an 11, so we'll see how much that move adjusts with everybody, with all the other competitors. Tough day, a lot of speed changes and large speed changes, which add a lot or subtract a lot to your score. When you're doing 15 to 45 or you're doing 20 to 50, there's a lot of error that can be put in. So you're really trusting the driver, me looking at the navigational charts to try to pinpoint that as best as possible to get a good score.
So happy that we chose Rhode Island as the start. It was fabulous, just absolutely fabulous. And we know that something in Colorado, North Dakota is going to be great. That's pretty good. Through the start-finish line, so the lineup down here at the van at the Great Race Orange.
The sixth consecutive day, we had a new winner. Jeff and Eric Fredette took the daily win with a score of 5.71 seconds and didn't get a single Eckler's ace in the process.
Pretty busy day actually today, but it made it exciting today, so it's good.
Stay consistent every day.
There's consistency at this point.
I mean, you looked at it last night, it's not that much difference between the top 10 teams. Yeah, we've led down the East Coast that one year. We led all the way down to Jacksonville, and then we fizzled. So, and in 18, we were no way we were going to win that thing. And, yeah, everybody else had a bad day, and we didn't do anything wrong. So, there's no set formula that's perfect every day. So it's whatever team can bring all those formulas together and make them work. And, the last 2 days are no throws, so you got to be spot on the last 2 days. There's nothing wrong.